With us, as usual, is Finn Wolfhard, Billy Bryk, and Amir. How do you pronounce your last name? I don't want to get it wrong.
Blumenfeld. You've said it before, and you will say it again.
Amir Blumenthal.
Feld.
I feel awful that I'm peaking for you guys.
Well, you peaked a long time ago, Jeff. In real life.
Was it belated? Was the show belated?
What?
Was the show you passed on belated?
Belated?
The theme song was happening. You can't already come in hot and angry during the opening number. That should be the biggest, highest energy, positive moment. And you were yelling at Billy during it.
No, because you know what? We get on the Zoom and Billy's like, oh, I have to pass on an audition, which you shouldn't do, by the way. Because all work is work.
You can, by the way. And don't tell me no, because that...
And then Billy Bryk. William N. Bryk. The middle name is what, Niller?
Nicholas N.
Okay. I thought you were related to William.
What?
William Niller. Willy Nilly.
Oh, nice. Nice.
You're staying with me. You're literally 8 feet above me right now.
That's why I'm on the show. I'm staying with Jeff, and he said the only way I can stay with him is if I do the show.
Yeah. And
so
it's also, but you also have to be good on it. I forgot to add that stipulation. So you have to be funny. You have to be able to play to the height of your intelligence for sure.
Okay.
Funny references, funny puns. Let's make sure it's an enjoyable experience for the listener.
Was it hard to get an Airbnb where they all sold out or
Yeah, they were all booked.
When I fuck up and you're on the episode, I feel like you're able to get past it and get to a place of normal conversation, if not enjoyment. I feel like when I do it when Billy's on, he just shuts down.
Is the goal of this podcast enjoyment? I feel like...
An excellent question indeed, Billy. What possible enjoyment would any of us receive when this show is run by a ne'er-do-well from the slums of Sugar Falls, Ohio? But that's enough about Jeff. Let's talk about who this compilation revolves around, which is none other than William Nicholas Bryk. It's already been one hell of a summer, but Billy will certainly make it that much more devilish. Born and raised in Canada, up-and-coming actor who's been in movies like Friendship, Saturday Night, When You Finish Saving the Frickin' World, and not to mention he's best friends with Finn Wolfhard, and a disciple of Jake and Amir humor, much like the rest of us. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the best moments of Billy Bryk on the Headgum Podcast. Also, 65% of you are not subscribed. Guys, we are 13 subscribers away from hitting 1,000. The Headgum community decided, and I will release the Best of Dead Air compilation when we hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. So, please subscribe. We are so close. All right. What's going on with that pillow?
Like your pillow situation. This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I tried to put it on the ground and then Billy was like, and then put it back.
Are you guys afraid of intimacy?
Emotional or physical?
Both.
Neither.
Really?
What about you, Billy?
What about this says you're comfortable?
I tried to take the pillow off.
He made me wear a jacket. He said he wanted me to feel as uncomfortable as possible.
We're all recording. We're all set up just fine. Amir, you couldn't have come up with a better background. Look at Billy. He has the crown molding. He has the detailing on the wall. Not a lot of art, which I don't appreciate. He could have put up a poster or 5. Okay, there you go. Goodfellas, or
No.
is it when you finish saving the world?
It is. No, it's I don't. This is actually my prized possession. It feels like too early to talk about. I don't really want to talk.
Let's talk about it after the break. I guess this is so fucked up. It's the original Bottle Rocket poster. Which didn't you pay like $1,000 for that?
I don't want to talk about it more.
But it was over $500, right?
Yeah, more.
And then when it got there, you immediately regretted it. I remember you texted me.
No, I didn't regret it at all. It's not. It's my
small. 11 by 17.
It's. Fine, I'll talk about it because you guys keep bringing it up.
You thought it would be bigger?
Made a lot of money, that movie. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, you were 0, so you don't know about the boffo of fucking Austin Powers. You don't have to worry about how much money it made.
Do you know that
you
it
were
actually,
a fetus?
It didn't make a lot of money, actually. It was didn't do very well at the box office, but it was because of VHS sales and rentals that it really took off.
No, that's what I was saying,
Yeah. That's not what you were saying.
We got Billy Bryk.
Yeah, on the facts. You said on the facts, right? Yeah. Little did you know. I'm
that
actually
is the
going
fact.
as Austin Powers for Halloween, maybe. So that's why I had to learn how it made its money, just so I sort of
just in case
was
somebody
well-versed.
asked you.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but I just figured if somebody asked me if I'd seen it, I'd be like, oh, would I know that it made most of its money in VHS sales if I hadn't seen it? And then it just sort of saves me the time of watching the movie.
A podcast.
Got it.
Or podcasts after this.
Sorry. Billy was going through a dissociative episode right there.
I thought I saw a chip on my loafer. I didn't.
And these are these Gucci or are these
You have such
dupes?
a chip on your loafer.
They're not. First of all, they're not dupes and they're not Gucci.
So what
Okay.
is it?
It doesn't matter. I just. I thought I saw
Let's
a
zero
chip
in on
them.
the.
Thank you.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
So,
I got fucked up eyes too.
What
Yeah,
happened
do
to your eyes?
I don't know.
and neither does Dr. Arthur.
Dr. Arthur
Oh,
Benjamin.
wow.
I've seen like I think 10 different doctors. Nobody knows what's
Only
wrong.
one of them was an
What's-
industry
But you
leader,
said
though.
it-
Dr.
what's
Arthur
going
Benjamin,
on?
You said it was
OD.
redness, and they don't look red now.
Well, right now they're not very red.
That seems to be the theme with Billy. Is like, oh, I have these fucked up eyes, but every time I see him, he's glowing.
Yeah.
the boy who cried fucked up
for like
eyes.
almost 2 years, just like excruciating pain and eye redness,
Yeah.
basically daily,
Interesting.
with
course.
no.
Did it affect your
diagnosis.
libido? Did you not feel worthy of love?
That's a good question. Were you able to still get aroused and get off?
Yeah, it made it harder to jerk off in the mirror just because the eyes were freaking me out.
Yeah, I get that.
But I could still get aroused.
Yeah,
If I was
you
sort
just had to put like black bars over the eyes in a way,
Yeah.
which became a different fetish.
of- yeah.
Putting tape on the mirror.
Bam, blam, oh, black.
It's like
Anyway.
the Parasite poster.
You also put up tape saying Parasite.
The only thing that gets me off is the Parasite poster. Yeah.
Billy, you just cut your hair.
Yeah, I did.
And we do these over video now. I don't know if you know that, but
I did know. You didn't warn me of that, but I did know that.
okay.
You should have
okay,
told me that, but I did know that was going to happen.
You're saying as a producer,
Yeah,
part
as
of
a
my job is
producer,
letting
as a
people know.
friend, just
Yeah.
let me know. Hey, we're going to be recording this as a video. But
Yeah.
I was aware of that.
First and last name of the person you lost your virginity to.
What the fuck is your problem?
Pass, right?
All
What are you
right, hey,
talking
again,
about?
You don't have to answer any of
Pass.
these. I'm just posing
Pass.
these. All right, pass. Exact
Pass.
street address.
You don't
Exact
have
street
to-
address.
Pass.
Personal.
How much money did you make in 2020?
Pass.
All right. What's? Oh wait.
Well, Finn,
hang on.
play along a little bit. Like, you don't have to answer all these, but don't be like a total
No.
wet blanket. Jeff
No,
invited us
don't-
on. It feels
Don't
like
give him an inch, because then he'll start asking even more somehow invasive questions, even though he's already asked like the 3 worst ones.
This is the best phone number to reach you at.
No. You don't have to say that. Do not say it out loud.
If you want, I'll
Yeah,
bleep
it
it.
is.
If you want me to, I'll bleep
Of course, I want you to bleep it.
it. All right. And Billy, Amir, again, chime in. This whole segment is bombard
All right.
Wolf hard.
Next.
I
next-
have to
next
leave,
question.
or
What's
I'll
that?
be under arrest. I have
Next-
to leave,
next
or
question?
else I'll be in trouble.
Jeff, just if you have any other questions, keep going.
How much do
Just
you
wolf-
weigh?
Like one.
Pass. You don't have to answer that. Don't let him. Don't
My
let him
height and
like.
weight is on that IMDb. So.
Can I quickly say I'm loving Billy's outfit?
Yeah, this
And I
Billy's like a style icon.
Yeah.
I've truly changed the way I dress partially because I met Billy.
I want to change the way I dress because of Billy.
I want
No,
these
you've always had
loafers.
good style.
Okay.
I had
Thank
like
you.
basic
I
style.
don't need to change
and
anything.
what's that?
You're telling me I don't need to change anything.
Well, there's things to change.
Oh my god.
Just don't say your name 3 times.
Damn. Damn.
I knew this
Jeff,
would
I
be
know
a
there's a
roast.
pillow here,
Nah.
but Jeff, I know
I
there's a
knew
pillow
this
here,
would
but
be a
I knew.
roast.
Walking into a
Thank
roast.
you.
Walking into a roast.
And we're plaque.
Loser.
Little dental humor now.
Yeah, Jeff's trademark biting humor. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
now we're getting somewhere.
Saw that made me think of Billy. I wasn't gonna do it, but if you guys want to see more,
Yeah, Billy, that's up to you.
Yeah, let's
But my instinct is yes.
so I saw this also on my Instagram Explorer, and I was like, God, that's Billy. I mean, this is total. This is such a brick move.
reply. So it's someone
Brick house.
replying to someone's close friend story. I'm done looking at it. Take this down. ITGIF, if it's on close friends, take it down your mind.
Just like the general possessiveness that you have with all your friendships and your family and your relationships, professional and otherwise. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's weird. It does
You
sound.
didn't
a
actually
lot
have to
like
explain
in your
that one.
voice.
Yeah, that made sense to me.
Billy, if you are happy and fulfilled, what could be better?
If you're
or
happy and you know it,
not? Clap your glands.
I don't know. Do you want me to talk about my debt? Is that what you want, Jeff?
No, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, let's talk about your debt.
I don't want to get into the numbers because it will just make me sound like a moron.
It doesn't. I will say that at dinner he got into the numbers. He's in a lot of debt.
We know.
You know? How do you know?
He told us.
Let's hear it.
I guess it's not debt because I have it technically.
Right. Which, by the way, after I figured that out, I was like, stop calling it debt. It's just cash you have and owe.
To somebody.
Yeah.
I owe them money.
And you have to go to Canada to be able to wire it, or you're just sitting on it?
Well, I'm going to Canada soon, and I think I have to go to Canada to wire it.
Have you looked in at all if you have to?
You definitely don't have to
There's
travel
definitely,
internationally
money,
to.
Yeah,
It's just
money transfers. Places.
Easier. I don't want to make a family member go to the bank
You
and
don't
sign
have
off
to.
on
Which you
it.
don't. You can log in.
What's your bank?
TD.
You can
Based
just go to
in
a
Boston.
TD. Yeah,
They're not the same.
Yeah, but I think
TD
you could.
Canada Trust and TD Toronto Dominion or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
is
I just
in
feel like
America
you
it's
should
not
be
the
able to go to a TD and they should be able to communicate.
It really should
Whatever
not be
it
this tedious.
Nice.
Did you say ladle? And I'm so sorry to learn about your grandmother.
She's fine. You're sorry to learn that she's fine?
Yeah, I'm sorry to learn about her. You told me a little bit about her earlier today, and I'm so sorry.
Sorry you wasted my time.
A graphic designer who made it kept one and then sold it off a few years ago, and I got it. I was looking for it for
And what
10
the
years.
audience doesn't know is that when you flip the camera around, it's the posters on the wall are Ghostbusters Afterlife, Hell of a Summer, When You Finish Saving the World, Crisis, which is a deep cut, L for Loser,
Get off of my IMDb.
and Winona Earp.
Yeah.
Winona Earp?
Winona Earp.
Yes, Winona Earp.
Can we get kind of some kind of stinger? Any of the red buttons is good. Welcome to Billy's Dimes. Do you have a wallet? Do you have a bag?
I have a wallet.
How many dimes are in that shit?
0 dimes in my wallet.
How many dimes? Yeah.
It's more of a card case, I guess. So none.
All right. Well, way
I
to
guess
ruin
there's
a
a
segment.
couple pictures of me and my girl, so that's at least 2 dime pieces.
Why do you act like you just got off of a barge in World War II?
1 second. A couple pictures of me and my lady at a.
That's a Photoshop with you and Amy Sedaris. How could you have known? No, look,
my Food Town.
I'm trying to
Club
do.
card.
Everybody goes
Oh,
to
yeah.
Sea Town.
Food
I
Town
said
for
Food
that.
Town. I have issues with Food Town.
Me too.
I scan this every time. You don't get anything from
Because
it.
you don't buy any food.
No, but it's not points. You don't get points.
You don't get points. Yeah,
you just get little discounts here and there.
That's
but
how those work.
But I scan it every time. They ask me if I have a Food Town thing when there's no discounts. Because
Yeah.
I don't buy shit on sale.
Well, that's the problem.
Billy, you should live in New York because, if you're at the beginning of where you're gonna decide to live, if I could go back and do it over again, I think I would do New York first because eventually you'll probably have to move to LA.
Jeff, you're 23 years old.
I know, but came here for college, and then I'm gonna abandon all my close friends who care about me a lot and do things for me even when they forget my birthday.
Was it your birthday recently?
No, it was your birthday recently.
Recent enough. Yeah.
3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
Amir?
Aren't you moving to New York in 3 days?
Yeah, yes.
You just said you're not going to abandon all your friends, and I just remember you are moving in 3 days.
Okay, all right. This is that William N. Brick shit. This is that Nicholas style.
My email, yeah.
Yeah. Again, don't dox yourself.
I don't, they don't know. They don't care. No one's going to email me about this.
Now they will. And guess what else? The fucking out of context Twitter thing is probably going to blast your email to not only the Twitter spheres, but DeviantArt, Johnny style.
So yeah,
Probably
I
not
guess bleep
DeviantArt.
it.
Yeah, and also we can bleep. Amir's right.
No. I made my bed. I made my bed. I'll sleep
in good
it too.
faith, ask you to delete my email from the show. I need to deal with the repercussions here.
I need to learn about that. Yeah.
There needs to be consequences to my actions. To assume you went to South Africa and then
I went to Cape Town,
London.
London town, yeah.
So you went all the way to Africa,
Yes.
right? Contracted the variant there.
I happened to.
I assume quarantined for 14 days.
I should have done
Right?
that. That's where I made my first mistake. My second mistake
First
was not.
mistake was going to Africa.
right now.
Yeah.
And then
that's
you somehow got on the plane
Correct.
to London.
Correct.
Which is what, a 16-hour flight?
Yeah, that's like 14 and a half hours, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then my third mistake was getting there, yeah, like you said, and then not quarantining once I got there.
I didn't even know if we should count the mistakes because this is the third.
They're all so bad. It just makes one epic mistake. Yeah.
How's your emotional body? And how's your physical body? Let's hear about that cock.
Jesus Christ. I developed a wool allergy.
What?
Yeah. My eyes get all fucked up. You can relate, I'm sure. Not even in a mean way. I feel like that bonds us. But yeah, I can no longer wear wool on my body because then my throat swells up and my eyes get bloodshot red.
Oh,
That does suck for you because I feel like you're a big wool sweater head.
I was, yeah. I
Yeah.
gave all my sweaters to my brother.
like a hero.
Dempsey.
Yeah, Dempsey.
We should do the all brick up.
Yeah.
You, Dempsey, and what's your sister's name?
Ella.
Ella.
Cute.
Yeah.
Those cute names.
Ella's a heartbreaker name.
Yeah, she'd love this show.
Ella Brick.
Are you
Ella
guys-
Brick.
Well, she's an adult.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's the sparkling water.
I think you have to be 18 to guest on this show.
Yeah.
The subject matter's pretty adult.
I would say yeah.
Yeah.
But let's stop talking about the underage ones, you know?
But if you could get
Yeah.
Tremblay, you wouldn't?
I would corner Tremblay into saying something cancelable on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the end of The Dark Knight Rises?
Oh yeah.
Where they're both sitting in the cafe and they just sort of make eye contact.
It was
and then
very
they never...
Bruce Wayne and Albert.
Yeah.
Alfred.
No, Albert.
Okay.
It was Alfred and
Yeah,
Albert.
sorry.
Albert was
I was
the
honestly,
footman.
I was pretty close.
Ganja earthquake?
We just can't move on. The Ganja earthquake of 1139 in the Seljuk Empire, which is present-day Azerbaijan.
Hey, Jeff.
Yep. Right. So you're saying, because 300,000 people died, and you're saying that, you're making a joke about cannabis.
It's more just like, it's like ganja's weed, you know?
Yeah.
The big bong.
In high school.
What? Why is it an eagle, by the way? We never
that?
questioned that, and you sort of flew with it, I guess. It's like an eagle, but it has nothing to do with the word of the week. It's just the noise of a fucking bird soaring.
I think it's kind of just the idea of like a hawk, hitting that bullseye, picking up that innocent rabbit and taking it off to eat it.
Yep.
It's like, you got it. Fucking.
Mm-hmm. Bird is the word as well. Would work too, right? Or not? Does that
you
work
guys
too
don't
well
have-
that you can't? Yeah.
We lost connection with your bank, says your Venmo.
Billy, would
won't
you
live
sort
that
of
long.
wank it? Would you sort of have that,
I don't know if
sort
I'd
of crank
wank
that
it.
shaft until you were, returned to dust?
I don't know. If I could be, I guess, cranking my shaft at 114, that would be pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because of the age or...
the age, exclusively because of the age.
Right.
What is your vice? Being in debt? Because I feel like you don't have a vice, and that makes me not trust you.
I'm not in
You don't-
debt.
You don't
That's
really
huge.
drink. You don't really have dessert.
We don't need to talk about any of this on the podcast.
You don't have dessert?
It's the most unlikable side of me.
Well, what? Yeah,
Do you
what
do
is your
drugs?
vice? Would you say?
No.
What's your vice?
I don't know.
Sex?
No.
Not even. Okay, rosebud
Sex
thorn.
not my
then.
vice.
Fine. What's your rosebud thorn of the summer then?
My dogs died.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Billy, what's your bond of the week?
Well, I would say we should pick someone that is unexpected. A lot of people are talking about maybe making Bond a woman, or maybe casting a black actor, or some people even talking about Americans. So I think, what if we just went against all those conversations and cast a white British male actor like Jack O'Connell, who I think kind of has the look for it. And he was in that movie 71 with Barry Keoghan, who's another actor who I don't think would be right for James Bond. But I just think that it would be surprising and kind of ballsy of them to just go and give us exactly what we've had in the past.
That's cool.
Instead of like allowing it to be progressive.
Right.
Going with the grain is the new against the grain.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was pretty wise.
That's actually really wise. Yeah. Who'd you say, Jeff?
That was pretty wise. But I'm going to play a sound clip, and you guys are going to tell me whether it's Dick Van Dyke or Billy on a bike.
I think I'm gonna be pretty good at this.
Okay.
I think you shouldn't have made this for money.
All right, here we go. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Amir, are you happy?
No.
All right, number one.
And you have to remember, the president doesn't pass the laws. Congress carries out the will of the people and passes the laws.
That's a trick question. That's me on a unicycle.
Billy, you owe me $100. That was Dick Van Dyke. That was his endorsement of Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
Whoa. Why did you stop yo-yoing?
Why did you stop yo-yoing?
Because I kept coming in like second to last place at every contest I went to.
Nothing worse.
We've got Billy Bryk on the show from
Who
Hell of a Summer.
Hasn't said a word. Or no, you talked about jerking off to yourself.
I didn't know we were
with
rolling.
tape covering your eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it fair to say Hell of a Summer's Billy Bryk, or are you trying to like distance yourself from that project?
Well, I'm not
just
trying to
because of
distance.
the
This product isn't out yet. So
right, and
tough to
there's
see.
nowhere
Nobody's
that
seen
people
it.
can see.
Yeah,
so
nobody can see it.
Can't
yet,
plug
so
it.
Can't really plug it. No.
Lackluster Videos, Billy Bryk, or that was a
Right,
different
kind
iteration
of
of you?
years ago. Yeah,
You don't feel like the same man.
Well, I feel like the same guy. I just feel like it's not worth plugging because it's like a podcast that died 2.5, 3 years ago.
And not in a grand fashion. It petered out until it just never came back. It was
You know
like
what I was thinking about the other day, though?
how lackluster it was.
We released like merch for whatever reason, right? It was more just to do it than to sell it. But
What
I
does
remember
that mean to do
You
it?
wanted a shirt.
like I wanted to like have the shirt. Like it was a fun
part of the
time
process.
capsule.
Yeah.
of,
Design
like,
the
what we
shirt
were
that
up
you
to.
would like to crop
Gotcha.
is his motto.
Yeah, yeah.
And Miley Cyrus asked for all of it. She was like, "Please send this to me." Of course, she never listened. I don't think she knew what it was. And then we never did. I just forgot to send it out to her.
I know,
Wow.
and that was before she realized that she could buy herself flowers. She can make her own merch.
Nice. Anyway, that's just I thought of that the other day.
You should send it to her now.
I will. Yeah. I
Because she
So
won't know
is
the
it too
podcast is
late?
dead, or
Yeah.
even that it was a podcast.
exactly. Jeff, do you still have that shirt that we gave you?
I ended up cropping it
So perfect.
a little too far.
Okay.
So that it could fit
So
Miley
Miley,
pretty
yeah.
easily.
Yeah, that's true. It's basically a sports bra that doesn't support.
Great.
Yeah, that's kind of her whole vibe, I think.
I don't know what you mean.
Okay.
We try to uplift women on this show, and
It wasn't a diss by any means.
Billy, you should tell your movie theater story that you told me the other day.
My movie? I don't even know what that was.
You, Finn, was Sam with you or no?
What?
You saw a certain someone while watching.
Oh,
a movie.
yes, of course.
Yeah,
yes. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Mhm.
The movie theater story I told you the other day.
That's exactly what I said verbatim. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I didn't understand what you were saying, but now I get it. We went to go see Army of the Dead in Williamsburg, Brooklyn on a Tuesday afternoon, 4 p.m.
Nighthawk Theater?
At the Nighthawk Theater, correct.
Nice. Love it.
And,
right below me at this moment.
And we were the only people in the theater except for one man who I thought looked familiar from his profile.
His
and then at the
profile
end of the-
picture.
Yeah, his profile picture. His Snapchat, it was like Snapchat nearby people, and his Bitmoji looked familiar to me. But so at the end, I fell asleep during the movie, and then I woke up to Finn going, "Oh my God, that guy looks just like Pat Castles." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I thought so too, but it's definitely not him." And it was Pat Castles sitting alone in the theater on a Tuesday at 4 p.m. reading, I think it was Game of Thrones while watching Army of the Dead, which is a movie that is on Netflix.
Reading a book while watching a movie.
I'll pay $30 to see a
Yeah.
movie.
That was on Netflix already. Like he could have watched it at
Yeah,
home
I saw it at home
on Tuesday at 4 p.m. But
Did
he
he-
went to the theater on his own.
Did he order food?
He had
must
a
have- I don't know if
couple
he was-
wines.
We gotta maybe next week we can have Pat on to hear his side of the story. I'm sure he has some pretty damning shit to say about Billy. And his profile, was it?
Yeah. Finn was pretty pissed at me because I bought us the tickets and kind of made us go to the movie, and then I fell asleep because I only had an hour of sleep. But then Finn got mad that I had fallen asleep, so he turned his phone flashlight on and started shining it in my eyes.
Jesus.
As I was asleep to wake me up in the theater, which is the rudest thing to do in any movie theater, but especially to my eyes and to Pat.
Daniel, back at it again with the white man.
Yeah. So Q's not the old lady character then. I mean, M's not the old lady character.
M is
it's
the
Q,
old lady.
It's M. Sorry.
Q is
Genie
the tech
Bus.
guy.
Genie
No.
Bus can be M. Yes.
Isn't one of them
Fine.
from Mission Impossible? M and Q are both Bond.
Yes.
MI6 is Mission Impossible 6.
Yeah. MI6 is what we call Mission Impossible 6. That's the fucking joke of the episode. You have to start awarding that shit now.
I think LeBond James is the joke of the episode.
Either way, Billy's taking on the hardware.
I feel like Amir was about to say LeBron James though, and I kind of stole
But I
it.
didn't, and that means I'm getting a step slow. Thank you
Right.
for
Do you know that highlight? And I'm sure you do, and I could be wrong. But when they try and get the ball to Kobe at the end of the game, and then Nick Young caught it and then shot it and hit the buzzer beater.
yeah, and it went in, right?
Yeah, and he hit the game winner. That's what that was. You were setting. You had it. The clock was winding down. You were turning the corner, getting to your spot, and then I kind of intercepted the pass from my own teammate, and then shot a terrible 3 and somehow banked it in.
This podcast is making me sweat.
That's true. That's true.
Jeff
want
did
the
turn the
arrow?
heat on.
Yeah. And it's not Billy's terrible belt that doesn't fit him that you guys picked up before
I
this.
actually think the bell is awesome.
Why'd you say you guys?
Because he made you
I didn't go inside.
That's fair.
I told him to stay
You
in the
should show
car.
them. Show the people.
Keep the car running.
I said stay in the car, yeah. I said
Yeah.
keep my seat warm for me.
Are you
So
going
I
to show
made him
people
move to
the
my
bell?
seat.
No.
No.
I think it's really cool.
It is really cool, but maybe at the end.
All right.
Take it easy a little bit.
Really?
You're throwing parties, you're working out, you're getting surgery. Like all this stuff is kind of a no-no.
Did you go dancing last week? You mentioned dancing
On
last
Saturday,
week.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
On Saturday? Yeah.
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 A Saturday night fever of sorts. Yeah.
Saturday night COVID.
That's that shit. That's the Billy Bryk guarantee. When you have this fucker on the show, you're going to get lines like that. It's going to make the out of context Headgum Twitter account. I mean, this is absolute horseshit.
Oh.
We're gonna go through. We're gonna put together our best March Madness bracket together, and then in the description of this video, I'm gonna link this bracket so that the listeners can create their own bracket. Thus, including Billy.
I'm not going to listen to this when it comes out.
What the fuck is this? I put a bunch of time and energy into this shit.
You put a lot of time and put the time and energy into other shit.
What are you talking about? Effort is
finding
effort.
a new table or you guys blackish sweaters.
Sunken eyes.
Wasn't gonna go there.
Part
but...
of an outfit, by the way.
You're never fully
Fully
dressed
dressed.
without a sunken eyes.
That was beautiful.
How has shooting been with COVID protocols? You guys are the only people I know acting.
Yeah, we're just like not following them. It's been really cool.
Holy shit. So nobody's wearing a
It's
mask or
like-
getting tested.
No, that's the thing is like we all kind of say we're getting tested, but it's like a bit of a like we're all like winking at each other, like, oh yeah, like I got the test, and then we.
Has anybody gotten sick?
A lot of people, shockingly, I think it's flu season or
Right,
something.
that makes sense.
Bill Nye.
Why?
Too old. Yeah.
Because then the movie could be called Golden Nye.
No, they're not
which
going to
movie?
parody their own name.
Golden Nye 007.
Yeah, they're gonna put the actor's name in the title for a pun.
Is there any precedent for that?
There is none, but you know what? There's no precedent for Pierce Brosnan.
Are you still dating?
I am.
Can we get into it?
Thanks for asking now. Yeah, you can get into it.
Long distance?
Yep.
So how's
Yeah.
this cybering?
We can't get into it. We can't.
Is
get
this
into
person?
it.
Is your partner lives in Ontario?
She lives in New York.
Oh, New
So
York
I'm
City.
trying to New York City. So
She
I'm
goes to the
trying
well,
to-
no, she dropped it.
No, she goes.
She goes to the school that my old school by Steely Dan is based off.
Hmm.
Wow. How'd y'all meet?
Through friends. We met through a friend.
Is
of
there
a
anything
friend.
hotter than
Organically.
meeting through a friend?
Ugly.
What? I'm sorry.
That's how I met Jeff. Babe.
Babe.
Life. What was your bad flying experience, William?
After I went to LA, and then basically they just like canceled my flight as I was at the airport. Didn't give me a chance to rebook it, so I had to like go back the next day. But on the way back into Canada, we landed, and they told us that they're gonna deplane 50 people at a time, 20-minute intervals. And there was 400 of us on the plane, so we had to wait for like up to 3 hours to get off of the plane after already landing.
Oh,
Jesus.
And then because customs was too packed, and then I went to customs, and it was literally like shoulder to shoulder. Everybody was just like inching along, and I'm not even kidding. There was 2 gigantic piles of shit on the ground, like smeared into the carpet.
What?
And nobody would clean it up. So for about an hour, they just had like pylons around these 2 piles of shit as everybody
Jesus.
like walked
What the
around the
fuck?
shit, and nobody was cleaning it because I guess nobody at the airport wanted to clean it.
I guess
and then
if you really have to take a shit and you're in line,
fuck it. Yeah,
what are you
you're not gonna
supposed to do?
You gotta
you know?
just shit on the floor, I guess.
3
And
hours
then-
shroud. Like you got to know some
What was
people
that?
on that plane.
Sorry, what was that, Jeff? I couldn't hear that. It's pretty good.
But to me, the worst part, it was one of those like serpentine lines. So I kept having to go past the shit again. And every time I'd kind of like get far enough away that I couldn't smell it, the line would turn back the other way and we'd head back into the shit, which I think is where that came from.
Yeah.
In Vietnam. It was the lines, the shit on the floor on the way to get on the plane to go to Vietnam.
And I searched in my Gmail. I couldn't find it to save my life.
Yeah. Right.
Or this show.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't
Right.
say my email.
Sorry, yeah. I'll bleep that. Grace, why don't you cut that out?
Wait, did you say his email just now?
Well,
right. Of course.
And Grace will cut that out for sure.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we?
My email is.
You have to. That one especially. I mean, Billy's. I feel like. I mean, we can
It's
give
fine.
it.
Yeah, it's fine.
What are your cross streets on the Upper West, by the way?
Not going to tell you.
Come on, dude.
Sure.
What?
Okay.
Where's this footage gonna go other than online?
Can you guys riddle me this? Why are stars not flocking to the once hot spot?
You got
I
a
saw a
membership
TikTok that
in the last
explained
18 months, right, Jeff?
Well, what's that?
You got a
You got a
membership in the
membership.
I
last
had a
18
membership
months?
when I was writing for Carpool Karaoke. You said last 18 months. This was 3 years ago. This was 4 years ago.
How much did
2020.
it cost you?
$2,000 a year?
You're not great with money, are you?
I'm not.
Billy and I are writing a movie together, so hopefully that comes together.
Is it the same one that I read, or is it a new one?
Yeah, it's the same one, but we're doing
Very
a
funny.
little
It's
rewrite
very
on it.
funny.
Thank you. We're doing a rewrite on it.
You know how it's good to get fresh eyes on it? We send it to you to kind of get stale eyes on it. So like if you laughed at shit, we just knew to change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you love that one bit. You love that one bit about the dad rap, and we cut that instantly, and that's not a joke.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. We cut
Some
it.
people have the Midas touch.
cut-
You have the shit touch.
Yeah.
Everything you touch turns to
You
shit.
cut the dad rap bit?
We cut the dad rap bit.
That was the funniest part of the whole movie.
Yeah,
And because you
Just cut
thought
the
that,
shit
it
touch.
was cancer to them. And they had to get rid of it.
It was dying.
I'm
On the
actually
vine
upset about this.
and off
I'm
of it.
actually upset about this. That was my favorite scene in the movie.
Exactly.
It's just so
It's so specific.
to like you. So we'll use it for something else. We'll do it as a Headgum sketch.
Okay.
You might really like it though and be like, let's make it a weekly thing, forgetting that you said this. So if somebody was really keen to meet Jeff,
Yeah.
there's ways they could do it, but reach out.
Reach out and ask to get lunch.
Yeah, and you'd probably say yes. But if not, yeah, you could go to, was it? Who's Pickles?
Jacob's Pickles.
Jacob's Pickles?
Have you been? You gotta go.
No, I've never been. I don't get out much.
The reason why we got
This has happened before.
I'm gonna go too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go too.
Okay.
Oh.
Whatever. See ya.
Well, I was going to cut this out, but now that it's just the boys.
Yeah, kind of a, cool, like, side
I'm
thing.
going to cut this out.
All right. Very, very mean to me. I was accidentally overpaid about 2 years ago. Didn't really realize.
By a lot.
But,
By
yeah.
a lot. That's the part that makes you seem
By
but
like a
A full
full-time
year's
salary.
yeah. And then some.
And now they're asking for the money back.
and now they need it back. Yeah.
Are they allowed to do that?
yeah, I want. Who do
I
you?
would look into that.
That's what I was saying was like, you owe most of this, but I think you should get to keep like 20%.
I owe Finn the money.
So that I think if it were a corporation or somebody that you didn't have a relationship with, you absolutely have grounds to be like, I'm not going to pay this debt.
Well, we
You
should
have
say,
known.
as he walked up, we learned that the entity that messed this up. Do you want me to bleep that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Can I also guess this is a trick question? Is Dick Van Dyke now riding a bike because he's old?
He owe me $100. That was Billy Bryk on a bike. Billy, I'm so sorry, by the way, to be airing these like private recordings that I made of you riding bicycles. But
I don't know how you recorded them, but I remember
Was
that
he also
one.
did he crash at the end?
Yes.
The seat was too high.
Okay. So what, you rode into something?
I saw
or-
a squirrel and I swerved and then I hit the curb. There's like a sidewalk beside the bike lane in Toronto, and then I hit the curb, fell, and then got up, and then I saw the squirrel come at me, and then I fell the second time. Sort of.
So the squirrel was kind of antagonizing you at that point.
Yeah, it's like I tried to move out of its way, and then I guess it saw me fall, and then it just is very an opportunistic squirrel. Just knew that I was down and wanted to.
At that point, he was just sort of trolling you.
A squirrel walks into a bar.
Let's just go to the third one. Let's go to the.
Kind of looked like he said Bake Off at one point.
I'm really bad at this.
Okay, first, let's go word by word.
Elizabeth Holmes?
Okay.
Wow, that was good.
It does look like Bake Off.
Back off?
Bernie.
Elizabeth Holmes, Marika Bake Off.
No, Marika, what were you going to say?
I was going to say Bernie Madoff.
Okay.
That kind of looked like my name again, but I don't want to be that person that's like everything's about me.
Okay. What about this last part? Fuck.
I think. Yeah, I can't figure out what the end is.
All right. So our final submission is Elizabeth Holmes, Bernie Madoff, Marika Brownlee, I think.
Elizabeth Holmes, Bernie Madoff, Marika Brownlee. I think you catch my drift.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Wow. That was awesome.
So it's not something normal that people would say. That was very misleading.
And it's clearly bad for me because I'm being compared to Bernie Madoff and Elizabeth Holmes.
I said, send in a sentence that you feel comfortable being on air that you want put out there.
Should yeah.
Have I told my gene fact?
Sure.
That like
when I said our gene's back, that would have been the perfect time for the fact.
A gene fact? Well, I just feel like I've said it before. I don't know why, because it's my only fact.
I wish you spoke with less curiosity about what you're saying. You'll say stuff and you'll say it with such wonder about what is coming out of your own mouth.
You ever heard about wonder? You ever heard of wonder? People say jean jacket. There's no such thing as a jean jacket because a jean is a cut of pants. It's a denim jacket, and denim is called denim because it's de Nîmes. It's from a village in France called Nîmes, or a place in France, whatever region, and de means of.
That's
So
also
it's
why
like
there's a
de
pharaoh
Nîmes,
involved
that's what it's
paint color called denim.
What? Say that one more time when I'm listening.
You on a first date?
Yeah, but the fact that you're like, oh, I love this idea, it just kind of proves that it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, like when the biggest idiot you know is like, wow, you're just like me. And you're like, oh,
exactly.
no.
God. Yeah,
I'm
no.
doing
There's this
something
famous
else.
story that when Jeff, I'm
Being
talking.
so
There's this
blatantly
famous story.
rude.
Jeff, 1 second. There was this famous story that when Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were pitching Good Will Hunting and trying to get funding for it, they put in a sex scene between them that was like just like a really, really out of place sex scene, obviously. And then anytime a producer would be like, oh, we love the script, they know that they weren't reading it properly and that they were not the right fit. And then when someone would go, oh, I don't know about this sex scene, they go, okay, you're paying attention. So we could go, all four of us, to pitch to different places. And if they are like, yeah, it sounds good, then we'll know that they're not the right fit. But if they go, whoa, this Jeff guy doesn't really fit, then we know that
There
they
we
really
go.
get it.
That's
you know what I
it.
mean?
Yes. He's like
Yeah.
so obviously like a canker sore on the idea that like anybody who's worth a damn will realize that and ask us to take him out. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah. First thing.
In the world of the vowels, Jeff's an F.
yeah. Because he's consonantly like pissing us off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Trader Joe's snack dinner steaks doll croissantlant tournament chip ice cream of hangry victors.
So Jeff texted me like 26 minutes before this podcast saying, "Have you ever been to Trader Joe's?"
I got that
And
too.
I was worried. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
worried about what that was going to mean. And this is
Yeah.
more than I, could
I
have
said rarely.
anticipated.
Yeah.
Do you guys understand what
But
this
yeah, I
is?
guess you went forward
Jeff,
with
you
it,
have
it
your-
seems like.
You have your own website bookmarked?
Yeah, because you have to update it sometimes and see
Just in
what's
case
going
you
on with
forget
it.
the domain.
Just in case I forget the domain, and the domain is jeffreyjames.com was taken.com, which I think is kind of nice.
That is good. I kind of hate that I set you up for that.
It's a
Started, as soon
nightmare.
as this started happening, Taylor immediately went to her phone. She's writing an email, and it's long.
No, I'm embarrassed. I just met
I'm sorry.
Taylor.
It's called a
She doesn't know that I'm
Jeff's
actually
doing
kind of
like
normal.
a real thing right now that I'm so shocked by. Doing this camp counselor, and it's like the most. Are they making you do this?
And you keep swinging a U-turn back to the preparation Y.
that's not
ad.
me.
I said that.
You can do no wrong in my eyes. Billy to me is a
I
walking
appreciate that you fell on
nightmare.
the sword here. No,
Yeah, well,
keep
no,
going.
I would
Go.
say that
Counselor or
Finn's
not.
been pulling the sword out of the stone.
Yeah.
You're falling on your own petard.
They're commending me, which is great. It feels good.
They're Camilla commending you. Or it should have been Sean Commendez.
Camilla commending their relationship because they are Splitsville. I don't know. Did you know that? Did you cover that?
Splitsville.
They broke up.
Do you think
Wow.
they decided to call it Splitsville at Squaresville?
Probably
Too
not.
niche. Don't.
Who's your bond of the week?
Mike Myers, I guess.
Great.
You had it.
Why do you think that he would be good?
Or
as
just
Bond?
sort
Do you
of
think
what
he'd
if
be
it was like
engaging?
a kind of like a send up of
Can
the
we get
James
the
Bond
eagle?
franchise? You know what I mean?
You think that Austin Powers is just that? It's just like a comedy version of James Bond.
Yeah, but I'd like another Austin Powers.
Still a comedy, or like what you said, which was a send up of James.
I feel like that is a comedy too.
Jeff has multiple times been like, when you come to LA, stay at my house. So I just need to know if it's like good to do or if I should avoid it. That would be helpful to me, I guess.
Where to begin? I guess with the first part of the question, which is I'm in LA because I can't go back to Canada yet without quarantining, and then the government is lifting their quarantine for vaccinated Canadians in about 2 weeks, so I'm gonna just stay in the States until then, and I'm kind of floating around. And then in terms of how it is to stay at Jeff's, I don't really know what I'm allowed to say.
You can speak freely. Yeah.
It's great. Jeff's, yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
Okay. Amir?
I didn't see Dune.
Well,
What about Dune 2?
I was gonna say, yeah.
I've seen Dune 2 3 times. Yeah, it's awesome. I didn't quite get it.
You are wearing a Yankees hat
Yeah.
right
Because
now. We've
they
talked about
fucking
that as the
lost,
loss. So
dude.
you really had no because you invited me to the Mets game.
Correct.
And the Nets game, but the
You
Nets,
could
I
have
said
walked.
they're not in the playoffs. So they're
Yeah.
not playing. I shouldn't have walked to the Mets game. You say I could have walked?
You could have. What neighborhood do you live in?
I live in Prospect Heights. I could not have walked. I wouldn't want to walk. It's so
yeah,
far.
to Queens, that would be. It's hard to Flushing. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Which is
Screw
it's not
you,
my
man. Screw you. It's basically like this.
Yeah.
Kind of.
No, yeah, we get it.
Oversized.
Isn't that a bolt?
Shut up. I didn't want to bolt, so I thought I'd screw you instead.
Are you nuts?
That's good. That's a great
That's really
one.
good. Yeah. We do have to take a break. I wish we could ride that like adrenaline and momentum comedy wise, but we do have to take a break and thank some sponsors.
You played the Damn Daniel sound, which is
Damn, Daniel.
so that hasn't been a thing for 4 years.
Longer than
And
that.
then, so that's worse, right?
I think it's 8 years.
Can you believe this pandemic has been going on for 8 years?
Nice. Pandemic.
Sacks.
Also, your knees were going over your ankles, which is poor form.
Which is poor form.
So your form was bad. Our form good.
Your ankles were bad too. Yeah.
Yeah.
The ankle to Blundstone ratio is so off. Oh my god, this guy's wearing Nike with Blundstone.
The whole city goes crazy.
Oh my god.
Coming off of Space Jam 2, I'd love to see a LeBron James Bond. Yeah.
LeBron James?
Hell
yeah.
LeBron James. Yeah, he's already tall and hot and like athletic, so like he can do some real cool. And what if Bond has to dunk a bomb at the end of the game? Or a chase down LeBron's James at the end of the game. So it's like a guy putting a bomb in the rim and LeBron fucking dun, 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 dun. They used the Mission Impossible theme. Running
Mission Impossible theme?
Yeah. Swatting it out of the way.
Yeah.
He changes his number to 007.
That's
the
really
Lakers
good.
Stop him from doing it because they've already sold all the jerseys. And they just
Yes.
can't. Yeah.
And then
we
he'll-
should pitch
in the
that.
movie-
I could get on board with LeBron. Yeah.
LeBron James.
No, I definitely could. I'm just gonna get it. I'm just gonna send it all.
It's more just an unfortunate circumstance.
It just means I have a lot less money than I thought I had. I sort of, due to a bunch of people kind of missing this extra payment and then other miscommunication where I had kind of noticed and I had brought it up and then they're like, no, we checked with accounting, like you're good.
Yeah.
And then more money was kind of trickling slowly in over the next couple. And I was like, I guess this is just all
Residuals?
kind of like
Yeah.
found money or I don't know. Or not
Right.
found money, but I was like, maybe I missed something. And then there was a currency conversion thing from US to Canadian. And then the numbers weirdly like
went up.
I was pounding those grilled chicken breast strips from Trader Joe's.
So that means you
And-
go to the gym and you come back and you just fucking house a dry chicken breast, and that was that.
It was so easy, man. Ready to eat, tasty, kind of high in sodium, but man, the convenience.
Is it tasty?
I thought it was for what it is.
Well, it's dry.
It's no, not even too dry. No, it's got some juice on it.
When I was at the healthiest point in my life, I was just pounding these fried olive bites every day. So it's sort of an interesting parallel.
Yeah. And then your cholesterol got too high.
So how are you doing now, Billy? That's when you were doing your best, was when you were eating the fried olive bites. How are things
It's mostly the pumpkin bars.
Oh yeah, walking
into a bar. I actually like olives, but those fried olive bites look bad to me. So
Yeah,
if
I
I
think
like
grilled chicken
olives
breast-
and they're bad, we got to go grilled chicken breast.
Yeah, just something new that I haven't tried. Like I've done the olives to death, so.
Yeah, you've never had a single grilled chicken breast.
Nearly to death by the sound of it, yeah.
The guy who sold this to me at Best Buy wasn't happy.
You had to have someone sell it to you.
He
Sell
had to
me
open
this
the
order.
case.
The Jeff of Best Buy.
We don't work on commission, man.
One. I skipped
Us
them
three
because
should
you
start
made
a
me feel-
podcast.
That's really
Me, Johnny,
funny.
and Amir.
Why
yeah.
the wise bros?
Yes, that's great.
The
three
vowels,
wives.
because we're A-E-I-O-U and sometimes wise.
That's really good. That's really
I love
funny.
that. I would
Mute
listen
yourself,
to a guest
Jeff.
on it.
Mute yourself, Jeff.
I would
I
listen
think,
to a guest on it.
We're trying to
spitballing.
talk right now.
I'd
The
love
vowels
to be
are
on
going to
it
sort
a
of
lot.
wax for the
I'd love
next
to be on it
few.
a lot.
You think his qualification is that he wrote Chernobyl?
Dude, he's versatile.
Right.
He
No,
wrote.
you don't know that?
Do you know? I do. Do you know about what he wrote before Chernobyl?
What did he write?
Big, weird studio comedies.
Okay.
Like,
He
for
wrote
example?
Disaster Movie.
All as a writer, though. He has no acting cred.
He wrote Disaster Movie and then he wrote Chernobyl.
Yes.
That's
Wow.
funny because they're both,
Disaster
movies.
You are crazy.
I don't think you're hearing him because he was actually being rude,
What?
and then you smiled and said,
Oh, he was being rude to me?
"Yeah."
No,
you just
was
kind
it
of
to him?
to Finn.
No.
Everything over Venmo's a gift. I learned that last night. $100 in your account. Confirm that you got that, Marika. Nobody say anything until she does.
You learned that last night? You said
I said
that
nobody
last night.
say anything until Marika confirms that she got the cash.
Jeffrey James paid you $100
All
word of the
right.
week with
All
a
right.
just hauntingly sad Venmo image
What is my Venmo?
It's you in like a fishing cap crying.
Damn, Daniel.
All right, now you can go, Billy.
I said you were saying that you learned last night that a Venmo is a gift, but you were the one who said that. I was at dinner with you, and you told the table that.
Well, yeah, I learned it because I said something that I wasn't sure if it was true or not. And nobody said anything contrary, so I figure it was right.
That doesn't. Yeah.
Everyone nodded along and said, "Oh, I didn't know that."
You're just like secreting it.
Well, no, it's because we were talking about something else. And then you just kind of inserted yourself into the conversation and said, "Did you know that Venmos are a gift?" And then we were like, "Oh, no, I didn't know that." And then we continued talking about the other stuff we were talking about.
Yeah. And then I did chime in again, too, when the apps came. I was like, because it's kind of interesting. It's like tax-free. And then you guys were all like, what? I was like, the Venmo thing, it being a gift and all. I guess you guys had forgotten.
Yeah, no, we just, still continuing our conversation.
Billy, did I do something to hurt your feelings?
You invited me to your Headgum live show, told me I was on the list, and then I arrived bringing my girlfriend, feeling proud, and I wasn't on the list, and they didn't allow me in.
Okay. Should we call Finn and have him loop in Millie?
No, right? For like a number of reasons, definitely not.
Well, I'll send you some fast food to make up for it.
Just at least let him know that it's there.
Do you guys ever feel held back by me?
No.
Right.
I don't think we're close enough for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you factor into my life.
Billy?
I just hate how much you want to be a part of these clubs. I can feel it
Begged
through
to
the
be on the
Zoom.
podcast. Billy said, "Are you recording this week? And can I be a guest?" I said, "I would
I
love to
didn't say
have
you-
you."
I said
I
nothing to do
bring
with it.
you on the Zoom, and you sit there, fucking unmarkedly excited.
Unmarkedly?
He is excited, but you can't tell. That's what I'm picking a bone with.
Okay. What time is it?
Hey, decorate your apartment. Enjoy the show.
The Dolly Parton statue sounds like it would be a great idea, especially if she's so humble that she doesn't even want a statue.
Right. I'll start us off just because I came prepared. Jetty, what's that?
I said yeah.
You don't want to continue. You don't want to continue with your thought because you're so quick to. Did somebody say something? You just be confident.
Do you think yeah is the start of a way longer sentence?
Jetty Osmond.
I'm worried about them. It's really
Well,
hard for them, you know? Like,
hard
it's
for
really
them.
tough for
I'm
them.
worried about grown men in power as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really.
That's awesome.
Right.
Oh my God.
According to People magazine, Beverly D'Angelo's ex-husband gladly divorced her so she could be with Al Pacino.
Sorry, I thought her husband's name's gladly divorced her.
Gladly divorced her.
Gladly divorced her.
I think I have her phone.
Oh my God! What about Jeff's roommate George?
Oh my God. And that would be an insane get.
Yeah, I don't have George's
No.
contact information, but I'd probably
I could DM him
ask
on
Jeff.
Insta.
No.
Oh yeah. I'd probably do that.
No,
George
I
is
don't
the
like
fucking-
any of this. I don't like any of this.
I guess
a
we could get
man.
Mr. James in there for like one episode.
Oh,
Jeff's
me?
dad.
Yeah, that would be fun. Sort of like the wisdom of James. We can call that segment.
Oh
Exactly.
Jeffrey's
That's
dad.
what I would want to call a
Or
segment.
Jeffrey's mom.
I don't know. I didn't really like Paris the first time I went, but I don't
Like, you don't love the best cities in the world.
I don't think I had the money for Paris.
It's not more expensive than here.
I know,
Also,
but
if you aren't doing anything, what do you need the money for?
well, in Paris, I was just doing it wrong. I just did Paris wrong.
Where did you go and where did you not go?
I don't even know. My
Forget it.
friend got so sick in Paris, he sharted in his jorts at the Louvre. He listens. He's a big fan of the podcast.
I will say the Louvre
Shout
is
out
not
to
no way.
Does not need glasses anymore? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no more glasses. Actually, Billy, could I interest you in some vintage frames, brother?
No, I don't need glasses. But
You can
that's
still
actually a
wear
shame.
frames.
Yeah, you could wear the frames. I feel like you may have looked better with glasses. I wish you would have asked me or consulted me before the LASIK because I think that sort of distinguished you. I don't know, the
Yeah.
glasses.
And
Yeah.
now I'm not distinguished.
No.
Really?
No.
Fishburne.
I'm gonna say
yes.
yeah.
I
Honestly,
want to
yes.
say no. He was in.
Casey's correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was like in
was?
Apocalypse Now when he was like 16.
16.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
so
17.
could
but
have gone
Lied
to
about his
camp
age.
and
I guess he could
freaking
have gone to camp.
gotten
yeah.
so much
What?
Because he was in a freaking French.
What the
No, and I appreciate because now I'm not I don't look like the most immature person in the room.
I'm so happy you said that.
It really
You
Billy, that
finally
was
broke
crazy.
your character being like and
buttoned up and dry. I feel like there's two
Not
inside.
bad.
What is it? Inside there are
Two wolves.
Wolves. For Billy, it's like he wants to be this like.
Don't tell me what I want to be.
I want to say.
No, I'm with you. I'm with
Yeah,
you
he
on
wants
this.
to be
I'm with
this
you on
like
this.
heartthrob, jaw could cut glass, Wonderland magazine, prestige actor. Not to say the word prestige again.
But he's inside. He's Jeffrey James.
But he's a dumbass. Yeah, I'm sorry to say.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Finally, the vowels
Yeah.
can sort of fucking
This is
scream.
like this
Did
is
you
like the
guys notice-
podcast right now.
There was like a
feel
high
like-
pitched ringing every time. I guess Jeff, now that he's
yes.
muted, I can't hear it anymore.
He gave me
Yeah.
tinnitus. He
Yeah.
gave me tinnitus.
Tinnitus tonight. Yeah.
That's really funny. Joke of the fucking episode. Like, now that it feels like I feel like I had something removed, like a boil from my back. You know what it feels like? I
Yeah.
can like stand up. Like when the hangover ends and you're just like, let's fucking party.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel. Like a
Like
huge
when you go
weight
see
of-
The Hangover and you're just so stoked afterwards and you just want to go party.
That's another great joke that Jeff would have stepped. He'd have been like, yeah, or like a fucking the time where I gave a bagel to a fucking dwarf, and he would be like, yeah, chuckle king or something like that, and we'd all be like, what the fuck are
What
you
the fuck?
doing?
Yeah, like
man?
that was kind of funny because you can't even do like
I
even when
can't-
you're
yeah, I
doing
can't
Jeff, it's
fake
funny.
it.
You can't
Yes.
you can't go down there. Yeah.
I've dedicated a little bit of time to flexibility, and I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I do like 3 minutes a day of stretching, and that was my
that's great.
resolution.
But
and
he's
I've
talking about
kept it up.
stretching his mind to not get upset when plans change. That's the flexibility he's talking about.
Yeah. You
Which
said
that was a really
12.
good
You
joke.
said we were recording at
That was a
12
really good
today.
joke, and nobody laughed. Emma didn't even like it.
Yeah.
She loves everything.
I don't know.
Why
If
does
that's a great
it sound
joke.
mean when you say that?
What legacy
Sort
do
of
you guys
just
want to leave
interrupted and derailed the
behind?
conversation I was having with Billy. I said something about flexibility. He
Yeah.
was relating to me. I was actually interested. Like, is that 3 minutes in the morning? Is that like a top of the day?
Yeah, I try to do it at the top. I mean, I didn't do it today because I thought I was going to be late.
Right.
Because I woke up and then I frantically was trying to buy my cousin a birthday present.
Why?
This is a birthday.
You should save money, man.
I was trying to get my
Make him
parents to
something.
reimburse me for the present that I'm getting my cousin.
Which is?
Shoe. When's this coming out? Shoes.
What does the timing of the release have to do
Sneaker
with
drop?
saying
I
that or
don't
not?
want to spoil it for his birthday in case he
It's
decides
coming
to
out
tune
probably.
in.
This one's probably coming up this Friday.
Bleep it.
Why?
Because
It's
this
a
one isn't going to need
spoiler.
much editing. It's going well. The other one I'm going to have to chop up.
Wow.
Yeah, chop
The one
cheese,
that
really.
you said was really good.
It was a goddamn mess.
I just don't like when people go out of their way to be on the show and then I'm like, that was a bad episode. I think it will play. It'll be fine. But it's just, I'm going to have to also edit all the graphics from the fucking Headgumly feud thing that we
Oh,
did.
there was a game and I'm on a damn wax episode.
There's other stuff. It's
Okay.
going fine.
All right.
I woke up. I was trying to buy him the gift. My brother called me in a panic about a Canva presentation that he was making, and then I had to deal with that. And then I would realize that I was going to be late for the podcast, so I didn't do
God
my I
forbid.
didn't do my exercise or my
Yeah.
stretches. Yeah,
Are they the same 3 minutes of stretching every day?
Yeah. Egoscue or what? Posture stuff? How
Or
standing?
is it like
how straight do you
what Winnie
stand?
the Pooh does in the mirror
It's
every morning?
almost exactly like probably what Winnie
yeah.
the Pooh does in the mirror.
What
which
does he
is-
do in
except-
the mirror? He grabs a bunch of honey and just kind of jerks off while there's a black bar over his eyes.
Oh, all right.
Billy, what else?
I helped Jeff with a self tape.
That's
other
correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Charleston. That was one of the lines.
yeah. They asked you not to share any of the material, so that might be a problem.
I
if
didn't
this gets
sign
back to them.
anything.
Yeah.
Legally, I'm covered. Legally, I'm covered, so that's going to be fine. Here we go.
Gotcha. It was 14 pages, and Jeff did not know the lines. And then it said that they were free to improvise because they wanted it to be the tone of one of those kind of whatever frat pack comedies. And Jeff took that and kind of ran with it in the sense that he didn't know any of the words. And we taped for a while in the middle of the night.
Correct. Late on a Sunday. This went to 11:40 p.m.
Jesus.
Yeah. And I was on Eastern time as well, so it felt like 2:40 a.m.
Yeah, correct.
Helping Jeff. I knew the lines by the end of it, and he didn't still.
Like a dime, but I'm like funnier than them.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have to have it all.
I'd much rather the other way.
Just then be like a basic, like not funny person.
You would not be jealous. Yeah.
No, sorry. The exact thing that you were saying.
Down past your shoulders. TBD.
I think so. There'll probably come a day where I'm sick of it because it is kind of a lot of maintenance, but I like being able to like do things with it.
Like what?
And women love it, Billy.
Do they?
Yeah. They like running their little dirty little grabbers through it.
Gross. Don't say
What the
that.
hell is your problem?
It's awful.
And that's the reaction I earned, by the way.
You don't get to play God and decide what reaction there should be to each of your jokes.
How would you run this company?
I think I
Into
would
the ground.
start to, yeah. Well, no, that's, very funny, Billy, but, we're trying to get real here about, financials and.
Yeah.
Welcome to Inappropriate Statues.
So that doesn't rhyme, right? You said they all rhymed. An inappropriate statue does not rhyme.
Yeah, kind of a small thing in the grand scheme of this shit show, but you did say that they would all rhyme, and 2 of the 3 did. And then there was this one.
Billy, I wouldn't do that to you.
It just felt like,
right?
I know, but
if
it
I
just
come
felt
on
like
lackluster video or lackluster audio or whatever, I wouldn't fucking embarrass you on your own fucking show, right?
you just said that they all rhymed, and I figured like the only reason behind making the first 2, Bombard Wolfhard and Billy Bryk on a bike versus Dick Van Dyke, is because of the rhyme. It felt like you could have picked, like if they didn't have to rhyme, there's so many better games that we could have played.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
You ought to be.
Should I play
playing here.
Josh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of
all
more.
right, so starting with montage?
No.
no.
Of course not.
Essentially, they're playing a bunch of like camp.
No. Yeah, they're doing
Just,
it.
Billy, tell me where to start. I'm doing scene direction.
Yeah, there's really no. Okay, Jason, I'm gonna do the one line that you have. I'm gonna tell you where to start at. It's
Ari Irving, fine.
Okay.
Do we have to guess as well?
Yeah,
Or are you
everybody
just
has to get
waiting
their
to tell
answers
us?
in. There's no right or wrong answer here.
Yeah. See, why are you asking then?
Fine. The right answer is Kyrie.
Yeah. Kyrie Irving. Yeah. Great basketball player. One of the best,
Unbelievable.
most talented basketball players probably of all time.
Yeah,
He'd be
one
a
of the best
great
point guards
coach.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, he'd be a great coach.
that and his social wherewithal would be amazing.
restaurants are getting takeout 3 times a week for the last 52 days because my fridge has been broken.
Yeah.
Have you ever settled a debt?
Is that just for Billy?
That's
too
just for
soon.
everyone else.
Too soon.
Greek yogurt with corn?
Yeah, correct.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, that one is just like no way.
Why?
Right?
Greek style yogurt dip with corn, and then
Everything in the elote.
Are there like,
I
little
that.
corn chunks?
Oh, I
in
see.
It, or?
I do like elote.
Me too, but is this doesn't ketchup
versus
flavored
ketchup flavored Spud Crunchies.
Oh well, it looks.
Those look
it
considerably
looks
better.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like
Those
French
look like fries.
But I will say that Greek yogurt and corn are 2 of my favorite. Not my favorite foods. but they're
Together?
definitely up. No, separately. But I'm saying
Okay.
sometimes you don't. Like my dad was eating an onion and cheese sandwich today,
Yeah.
and he's convinced that it's like a delicious sandwich. I don't know if anybody's ever had that.
How did he
but
prepare the onion?
He doesn't. It's raw onion and cheese.
Oof.
Wow.
Jesus. Diced
Yeah.
or
I mean-
like a disc?
He puts a full onion in between 2 slices of American cheese.
It's 2
Unpeeled.
top buns surrounding a full onion.
Unpeeled
Facing
cheese
in.
and unpeeled onions.
Yeah.
I gotta say that still sounds more appetizing than Greek style yogurt dip with corn.
Like AMC in New York is not really the same as it is in LA. I feel like LA has the better AMCs, but I think New York might be a regal town.
We're not.
You sure?
promise
And I
you.
do believe you, but can you tell me why? So I can
How do you feel
pass
about
this on to my
Pepsi?
girlfriend.
Because the new place doesn't have space for a table.
Got it. So
You're going from a
current-
studio apartment to a house,
To a
and the new place
smaller
doesn't have room
For a
the stuff that was
table.
furnishing your studio apartment.
Because there was a nook before for a kitchen table. The new place doesn't have a fucking dining room. It has a living room, a bedroom, and a kitchen. That's it. And don't
That's all.
say you can put a table in the living room. We wanted to have a sitting area. Yeah.
Where are you going to eat? You're.
There's a kitchen
You're,
counter.
I'm in a similar situation. That's a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake. I'm thinking right now.
Can we focus on the
I don't have a
fucking
table.
bracket?
Enough about the bracket. I'm in this tiny little studio apartment. Yes, crown molding, whatever. Yes, nice poster, but there's no table.
No one said nice poster. I said nice crown molding, and that the poster.
I think the
was
poster is nice.
I thought, yeah, thank you.
$1,000.
What? It costs more than a Soho House membership for a year, and that's not a joke. And I wish it was. And I wish it was a joke because I don't have that much money.
I mean, when I'm like, because I don't know if you guys ever do this, but when I'm drunk and high on the airplane, zelling strangers with no regard.
Never done that.
Basically, if you zell someone, they have no responsibility to send it back, no matter how you know.
You're so bad with money.
Is it because I was gonna buy tickets to Stereophonic at $74 each?
No,
or?
because you're selling people on a plane.
Why aren't
in
you on
the
airplane
sky.
mode?
Yeah.
Because I like to basically interrupt telecommunication.
That's really bad. You're bad with money.
It's hard. Well, you know,
Billy, can I ask you a personal question? And if you don't want to answer it, you can answer it and then we'll cut it out.
Okay.
You've been staying at my place since Friday night.
Yes.
That is 4 days, right?
I can't even be here for the lead up to this question. I don't want to know what you're asking. Just text him about it later.
Have you self-completed in my goddamn house?
Yeah, that's sort of where I assumed it was going.
Yeah.
And then
you've been asking me this every day since Friday.
And you've been answering honestly no, which is just shocking me that you have the willpower, man.
Yeah. Next segment, of course.
It is funny though, because I was in Tahoe with some of my friends from home over the weekend, and I did ask that question at dinner one night, and 2 out of 2 of us had, and 2 of us hadn't, or 2 out of 4 of us, I should say.
Nice. You were having your own little Seinfeld contest episodes by accident.
Guess which camp I fell in.
I don't want to.
Can't even talk about this.
I'm gonna say hadn't.
Correct.
Because you have that. Yeah, you have that. What's it called? That rash that's preventing you from doing that. It's
I
really
told you
flaky and dry, you said.
that. I told you that not only in confidence but by accident. You saw it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so you didn't really tell me. It was
Yeah.
Show don't tell. It's kind of one of the first rules of screenwriting.
Show don't tell.
Maybe once. Maybe been there once.
Billy, can you put your mic in a little? Sorry.
I was wondering when you're going to ask that. It was a test.
Year one, and just a number is fine of how many lovers you've taken.
Body count?
I don't. That's
This
too
could
blue.
also- That's gross. This could also be
that's
called
blue.
Casey's Dimes. That's blue?
That's
Oh,
funny.
really good.
Really good. We'll have to cut that just because
That
I don't think
joke
yeah.
makes too much sense for the show,
Casey's
so we need to
Dimes?
take it out.
Yeah.
Billy, when was the last time you were at like a 10 out of 10 in terms of fulfillment personally? Because I know you're not now. We got dinner the other day at Walter's, we should say, in Fort Greene.
I felt bad for you. You feel like you were in a tough space. The other day. I literally thought that walk. I was like, man, I hope Jeff's all right.
Well, it's hard because I said watch this space, but then the space was tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy, what's wrong? You look absolutely either devastated or gone.
I'm halfway to both, man. I'm both
cool.
devastated and gone. I just felt like I kind of blew it on the Bombard Wolfhard segment. I feel like I had some cues that I was burning to ask that I was just kind of too chicken to.
That wasn't the only segment of this show, was it?
No. We have 2 more, yeah.
Do they all rhyme?
Now that you mention it, it's kind of interesting. They do
It's
all
not
have
interesting.
a certain ring to each other.
So they all rhyme with each other? Or they all rhyme within themselves?
You guys realize that the pandemic has only been going on for like a year?
Yeah, exactly.
Only?
Yeah.
You could have had one.
I don't want to.
Don't look at the screen because you're seeing the
Dude, I'm not looking at all. The screen's so dirty.
Okay.
Who are Hickama?
Yeah. Oh my god, now I'm feeling like the energy creeping up. We're kind of bonding over this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like the wisest thing that Jeff could do is just give up on being wise, but he's so incapable of being wise in any way that he'll always be in pursuit of it and he'll never be able to get it.
Exactly.
So like he'd find some solace if he just accepted himself as this empty loser in a losing game and just moved on and tried to live in the moment or something, but he can't even do that. It's
He's
like,
balsa.
yeah.
He's a balsa wood, a Hickama man, an empty coffin.
If you make like a family crest,
introducing a segment that we don't have.
The button is called case closed.
That's
so what am I
true.
supposed to do
Okay.
about that?
I make that mistake a lot.
The champion is.
Yeah, it says crisp Norwegian crisp bread.
What the fuck?
How the fuck how did that happen?
And Greek style yogurt dip with corn in
That's
third
not
place.
true. This is absolute bullshit. This is horseshit. The champion is by unanimous decision in the final
Sorry.
round. Grilled
It said
chicken
crisp.
breast in
yeah.
a sealed container.
I have to go with the graphic said which was
Me too.
Norwegian crisp
There was a
bread.
technical
Unfortunately,
difficulty. 100%
We
it's
ran
not
a
the crisp.
fair election. No, and this is the result that we came out with. This is the
No,
one
this
that
is
we go
hashtag
with.
stop the steal.
we have to trust the process. We
we
have
don't.
to trust the process and believe the computers. Otherwise,
They're
we're no
fucking
better than
turning
them.
voters away in Florida.
By the way, if you're
crisp
still
bread
in line,
Norwegian crisp bread didn't even make it out of the first goddamn round.
It was the first one out.
You said it looked like a loaf of sand that'd been freeze dried in a sack.
honestly,
It
it
ran
wasn't
on
my
its own.
vote,
It ran against its own party.
but I have to tip my cap.
This is going to take months to sort out.
Justin Bieber, here we go. I have a swagger coach that helps me and teaches me different swaggerific things to do.
He said that. He said that, and guess what? The coach deserves a goddamn raise.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
No way.
Dude, he has
Christian
crazy
as
swag.
hell.
Yeah, but first of all, that's dope. And his swagger coach is Jesus Christ. Second of all,
Swag quotient of all time, JC.
JB
when
to JC.
JB, exactly, it's just one letter.
You're just flat out not
I
gonna
don't
do it.
know, man. I don't know. It feels
Billy,
like
come on.
I don't want to do. I don't want to play this game.
And I agree with you. It's not fun to do. But this is all going on the internet, and then if you don't do it, people are gonna think you're boring.
I understand that. It's like when Shaq did Hot Ones, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm gonna do that." The thing is, like, he knew what the show was before he signed up for it,
And you didn't.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Scorpio, very Scorpio
always
of you.
forget that.
To not want to share.
I don't want to do either part of the. I don't want to do squats, and I don't want to answer personal questions. You said you designed this game specifically for us.
Thing of like, oh, like, you know, I can't say this. Never mind.
What thing is it like?
It's like if you're. It's like when if you're a kid and you walk in on your parents having sex, and it's like, oh, like mommy and daddy weren't hurting each other. Like they say that in movies sometimes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, that is like fighting to the life.
The fact that you said you can't say
It's
that
having
means that it
sex-
happened to you for sure. You're definitely, like, because that's not something that's crossing a line for
I
you.
just
That's the
feel like
most
it's-
tame thing you've said.
Billy, one of the first things you said to me when you touched down in LA, or when I got back to LA actually, was that you wanted to see Fast 9 at some point in a theater this week.
I am. I'm seeing it on Friday at 8
Yeah.
p.m. Didn't tell you about it because you're not invited.
Fuck yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
30 more
That's the way to
seconds.
do it. Yeah, you don't need to go with him.
Billy's going by himself.
Yeah. Well, it was sold out IMAX, so I had to buy them on the second market, whatever it's called. Someone was reselling them.
You got them on
for-
StubHub.
He bought 2
Yeah.
tickets, but he wants to sit next to an open seat for his popcorn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we're back.
Why was I prepared for that? Yeah, you didn't wince at all. Billy didn't wince at all.
He's
And I
used to it.
That was a hearing test and you failed.
What? Thank you. Thank you so much. Set him up. Shouldn't have given you daps, actually.
We have
Too
not
easy.
had an.
Billy, let's hear that mood diary. Hopefully you had more than 3. Hopefully they were all prepared.
I had 4. Actually, I actually did have 4.
That's pretty cool.
It's a mood diary of a wimpy kid. So that's what.
Very
that's what
good.
mine is.
Very good. Not your best, but
4:41 Eastern. I don't have to do this, Jeff. I don't have
I'd
to
love
do
to hear it. I would love to
Thank
hear
you.
it.
4:41 p.m. Eastern. Jeff said dealers / Sophie's Choice, and it made me almost not like movies anymore.
Holy shit. I didn't know I had that power.
10 minutes later, 4:51, Jeff admitted to not know who works at the office anymore.
That's true.
This isn't really a mood. I just said fire him. 4:58, just sort of Amir said that you have a rejector, not a projector. That made me happy.
That is a mood. Not all
Maybe
these
that
are
brought
negative, by
maybe
the
that
way.
brought movies back for you.
Yeah, it did. It absolutely did. And then 5:13 March Madness ends. That took almost 20 minutes, is what I wrote.
Call it a dense segment.
Dense.
Half Jay Leno, half Jay Leto, Jared.
Oh, that's good.
And it's kind of like a two-faced Joker. You know what I mean? You know how Leno stabbed Conan in the back?
Yeah.
And you got the double Batman pun, and the Snyder cut is around the
Sure.
corner.
Half Conan O'Brien, half Billy O'Brien.
Who's that?
My sad Irish grandfather.
Yeah, exactly.
And I made that video where I was doing "You're a Jerk," but replacing "You're a Jerk" to "You're a Gurk," parodying Olivia Gurkey's name, who's just
That was an
a manager.
incredible time.
Are you familiar?
Hey, you guys hear about this? That's probably why they didn't remember the Jake Johnson thing, because if you were doing you're a Gurk, that's so much
I
louder. Like you
definitely-
fail so much louder than you
Definitely
succeed.
remember that you're a
Yeah.
Gurk. Definitely remember that.
Yeah.
Don't remember you pitching Jake Johnson.
But we
I
give you a
believe
lot
you
of credit
did.
for your Gurk. I think that was that was some of your best stuff because it was
That was
also
some of your
for
best Gurk.
Yeah, that was
Nice.
your best Gurk for sure.
Because I feel like 3 out of 4 of us have some of the greatest ass in the game.
Absolutely.
Who are you excluding?
We know who's excluded. Yeah. This is a video podcast.
I wanted to make visual medium.
Jeff, how's the acting going? You're saying your agents were pretty disappointed with the self tapes you've been sending in?
No, well, they've been giving me good notes that I appreciate, because I want them to be straight up with me. I can pull up the last email that Rob sent me. He said,
Dearest Rodney.
and then this is an actual email that he sent me. He said, we did send this in, but this is not some of your best work. When I get back from Cabo, we should talk. And so he's coming back on Monday.
You're kidding. I guessed this. This makes me seem so mean if this is
No,
something
this
that's
is a
actually
genuine
happening.
email that happened,
Oh, no. Yeah.
He said
That's
this
sad.
isn't some of your best work. Let's talk.
What was it for?
It was a Doritos ad. All I had to do was drink a glass of water, look to the camera, and smile.
I kind of put my own spin on it. So I kind of sent in basically what ended up being a short.
Of you eating inner peas? I have a small part in the Ghostbusters movie that just came out as we're
Holy
recording it
shit.
today. So
Hell yeah,
if you
dude.
guys want to check that out.
That's amazing. I wonder if it doesn't make sense, but like, I feel like if Jeff were here, that scene would be cut.
I think so too. It doesn't
Like, there's
make
no
sense,
reason
and
for
yet
that to be the
I
case.
understand exactly what that means. Like it's
Right.
one of those things that it's like a weird feeling, like deja vu, where you can't really explain it, but you know it's like there.
Yeah. We're all
Yeah.
feeling like he would somehow bend time space in a way to make it retroactively gone or something like
In
that.
a weird way, I feel like if I had never met Jeff, I would be on the posters for Ghostbusters. I feel like I'd be the lead.
Yes.
But that's neither here nor there. I'm over it now. We've moved past it, and moving forward, I think it's going to open up a lot of new opportunities for me.
That's cool.
You know Wes Anderson's apartment's near here? 13th and 1st.
Should we go?
It's
Didn't know
above
that.
a McDonald's, but I think it's just an office now. But
Yeah, I
it's cool.
thought that he lived in
He lives in
Paris.
Gay Paris, but he lives in like a weird arrondissement.
Why do you know where everybody lives?
That's
Don't know
I
where
don't know
people
where you
have
live.
houses and things too. Like earlier, you said that you're like so obsessed with where people are living.
I like to know where people live because then I know if I belong there.
I'm not working on anything right now. I have a movie coming out sometime next year, but I'll probably be on sooner than that. So I guess I'm on Instagram at gmail.com is my email. Fuck it. That's my email.
Bleep that out, Paris, obviously.
William N. Brick is my Instagram.
In high school, my friend's boyfriend's screen name was Ganja Man 69420.
But he had
honor of
never
the
tried the
earthquake?
drug, right?
And he didn't know about I was going to say, did he know about the earthquake?
I think it was probably
after
about
the
that.
earthquake?
It was.
Did he know about the earthquake?
Was
yeah,
it-
everybody thought that he was like a stoner, but he was just a history buff.
Yeah. No, I went to school
And that's
before
the death count,
1139.
42069.
Billy.
Well, you said how
We're
many
gonna.
died.
The
What?
whole episode is unusable with these asides you're having.
What are these? Weren't that wasn't even that bad.
There's
That
no
was
way you're-
fine.
You're
thought it
headed
was
straight
fine.
for a Razzie, man. Childbirth isn't worth the hospital bill, let alone the parenthood.
Be kind of baller if she said that.
Wait, show me a picture of her. Which one is she in Gilmore Girls?
She's the mom.
So she also is in Parenthood.
Yep.
The show. Jeff wrote it.
Yes, dude. That's the exact thought process. That makes me feel very seen.
Yeah, you are.
Guys,
very
is
seen.
being seen?
Billy?
I guess I'm on Instagram, whatever. But more importantly, I have 6 mid-century modern dining chairs designed by Robin Day and produced by John Stewart Incorporated, made in the USA circa 1950s. So these are Hill chairs. They're stamped. They're in good vintage condition. There's wear and tear, but it's constant with the age and the use. These are selling online for
Pennies on the
repainted,
dollar.
which actually they were appraised for almost $1,500. I'm willing to part with them for a fraction of that. I have to move out. Pick up in Toronto only. And I will be in LA by the time this comes out.
You could also bring them out with you, and then you could put them up on Rodney's closet. It's just a 20% consignment fee.
That's a terrible idea. I'm not going to pack 6 mid-century modern chairs to fly to Los Angeles. Also, how is Rodney's closet? Do you see my comments the other day?
Yes, it pissed me off so much.
EII. And you can also follow me on TikTok, too, at Hey Jville. Hey Jville. VILL.
Classic.
Yeah, classic.
I have a feeling you're going to get a lot more followers.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something. You're going to go,
Yes.
Johnny. You're going to go VIIRAL, I think.
Oh,
Nice.
that's really funny.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah. And so what was that? Did you guys hear that?
No, I just felt like a shiver down my spine.
What was that?
Billy?
I made a movie with my friend that I'm really excited about, but it's not coming out soon. So when it
You're
does,
hearing picture locked.
I'll have Jeff post. Jeff will be posting about it a lot. So that's yeah. Keep an eye out for that. Hopefully,
I'll be posting about it a lot.
Yeah.
I have a social media brand to keep up.
I know. All right, Jeff won't be posting about it a lot. I'll come back on the
You'll
show.
come back.
Yeah.
And you're about to go to that office right now to edit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I come?
That was good.
Guys, plugs.
That was good. I like nodded or whatever.
Plugs. What do you guys got? What do you want to point the people towards? I assume it's the movie, but it could really be anything. Let's start with Billy.
It's the movie. We wrote and directed this movie. We wrote it a long time ago, and we really would appreciate if people go see it.
You're really selling it.
Yeah. Well, do you want me to sell it more?
No, I'm just kidding.
I think that fans of the Headgum Podcast might really enjoy it because we're big fans of this network and of Jake and Amir, and they were very formative for us growing up, and we're close friends with Jeff, and
Yes.
You
It
know?
comes out
Very,
April 4th.
if you like Jake and Amir, if you like college humor, it's very in that vein. I think it's funny. It has heart. It has blood. It has Billy.
Well, it also has Finn.
Well, Finn's great. I'm saying you have
So
to give him
heart
the
and
positives
blood
and the negatives.
I
aren't
see.
good.
Oh.
No, heart and blood is why people would go,
It's
and then
okay.
I'm just warning them that you're also in the film.
Right.
Yeah, but it comes
Sorry,
out
I
April
didn't
4th.
realize that was the dynamic.
It comes out April
April
4th.
And goes
in
to
theaters
from today.
everywhere.
theaters.
Yeah.
Would you say this is
week
the
from
the
today,
thing you guys are most proud of in your career,
I mean, yeah. I think so.
Billy?
I'd have to think about it
No way.
a little bit. I'd have to think about it.
Well, our careers are pretty comparable when it comes to acting.
Well, we'll be. I think we'll be in LA soon, so maybe we'll actually, and maybe the world will be a little more normal, so
Yeah.
we can actually come into the office and record.
Oh,
some
I'm literally
stuff.
getting COVID tested right now.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Billy.
Put this in.
All right.
Put that in.
Yeah.
the episode.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Billy.
God, he's already drawing blood. That was so fast.
That's not even
Yeah,
how
what
they
kind of
test
test
you.
is this? Yeah, what kind of test?
Antibodies.
What
That's
part
good.
of WoW do you not understand?
That's good.
World of Warcraft?
Nope.
No?
What part of
Wow.
You fixed your tinnitus.
Ends right there.
So thank you guys so much. We will see you next week, or we won't. It'll be interesting. Like America, this is a great experiment.
That was easy.
Sax!